This is the Louie Tee Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be? Put me, your man. Louie Tee, welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. This is the NFL Draft Prospects 101, your guide to the hottest and biggest names in the 2015 NFL Draft. We're talking pass rushers, and one of the best in this draft class is none other than Missouri's Shane Ray. Let's jump into his pros right away. This guy hustles, high motor, something that I feel like you must have as an elite pass rusher. You've got to have the ability to never give up on a play, to chase plays down from the backside, to be all over the place, to be a menace. If they don't block you, you make them pay. His motor runs hot at all times, and that is something that is a must for me with any elite pass rusher in the National Football League. Great backside pursuit. This is one of those guys that you just can't afford to not block on any given play. Whether it's a quick pass to a receiver, whether it's a run away from him, you cannot afford to leave this guy unblocked. He is too explosive, he is too quick, too dynamic. He will make his way down the line and make a tackle in the backfield. I saw it time and time again. His backside pursuit was relentless, and that is something and one of the qualities that makes him one of the better pass rushers in this draft. Uses his hands beautifully. This is a gift and a curse for Shane Ray. We'll talk about it a little bit later on as well, but he uses his hands beautifully off the snap to get the hands of the lineman away from him and off of him, and so that he can get to the quarterback. A lot of times offensive linemen want to get their hands on you because if they get their hands on you, it's game over. But a lot of times if you can knock their hands down, you knock them off balance, you've got the advantage and you've got a direct shot at the quarterback, and he uses his hands very violently when trying to slap them away from the opposing offensive lineman, and he uses them to get to the quarterback. He uses his hands outstandingly well, and again, to me, one of the better pass rushers in this draft at using his hands. Elite explosiveness, and to me, there is not another pass rusher in this draft. There is not another one with the type of explosiveness that Shane Ray has. His get off is absolutely ridiculous. And that takes us to our next pro, which you can tie these two in with elite explosiveness and electric get off. His get off, his first step is reminiscent of Von Miller. It's reminiscent of Derek Thomas. It's reminiscent of some of the best pass rushers I've ever seen in my entire life. This guy gets off the snap as fast as you will find in the entire National Football League. His first two steps separate him from every other single pass rusher in this draft. It is his most elite trait. This guy gets up the field in a hurry. There are a couple of times where he runs by the tackle before he even gets out of his stance. If you watch the Florida tape, I believe it's from 2013, when he's going up against DJ Humphries, he literally laps DJ Humphries several times in this game. Before he even gets out of his stance, he's by DJ Humphries and he's looking for Shane Ray. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? Shane Ray's first two steps are uncanny, and that's what separates him from a lot of the other pass rushers in this draft. He is a natural pass rusher, and he has the full repertoire at his disposal. And the thing I love about Shane Ray is he bought his time at Missouri. Keep in mind, there were a lot of pass rushers in front of him, and he still continued to work at his craft. And when he got opportunities to get on the field, he showed exactly why he deserves some playing time. Remember, Michael Sam was in front of him. Remember, Coney Ely was in front of him. Two guys that were stellar pass rushers at the University of Missouri. And so you look at what he's been able to accomplish in his collegiate career, and you say to yourself, this is a guy that has done it the right way. And I look at him as a pass rusher, natural, defender at the end position. He lines up at the same spot every single snap. You know where he's going to be. And because of the repetition, because he lines up in the same spot, he has been able to build his repertoire. He's been able to build upon the things that he does well and some of the things that he doesn't, and get better at it because he does it over and over again. And you can see it by the way he approaches the pass rushing element of the game. He can spin, he can go fast up the field, he can use his hands, go hard outside, back inside, he can go straight inside. You can see the array of moves that he has because he is a natural pass rusher. He is a guy that on a consistent basis, down in, down out, game in, game out, will get consistent pressure on the quarterback because it's what he does. He gets after quarterbacks. He hunts. He bags them. That's Shane Ray in a nutshell. You go to his cons, okay? His size is one that is somewhat of a detriment. At 6'3", that's good size, good length. But at 245 pounds, and I question whether he's a legit 245, I want to see at his pro day what he weighs in at and what he's able to do there, because he doesn't strike me as a big guy on tape. That being said, he can get gobbled up in the run game. That's the next con. This is a guy that I watched on numerous occasions get swallowed up in the run game. Tackles are devouring him. And you want to see a great example of him just being washed clean in a game and just taken out of a play. Go watch that SEC championship game from 2013 versus Auburn. Greg Robinson literally manhandled Shane Ray on numerous occasions. I'm talking 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. I mean, he's taking this guy, but again, we're talking about Greg Robinson. There were a lot of guys that he picked up and physically manhandled in the run game with that Auburn rushing attack. But I'm telling you, he took Shane Ray a couple of times and deposited him 8 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, and he can get gobbled up in the run game. That is definitely a con for Shane Ray. He will run himself out of plays, and sometimes he can frustrate me because he's so electric, he's so explosive, he wants to get up the field, and the lineman is inviting him up the field. Oh, it's a run play, but you think it's a pass because it's a draw, so you can go right up the field, and I'll watch you, and then right when you figure out it's a run, I'm going to go ahead and push you so you can go ahead 5-6 yards up the field. You're nowhere to be found in this play, and you just opened up a huge avenue for my running back to run up. Or he'll go hard inside and attack that gap, and by doing that, he'll just create an easy crash down for the lineman where he just seals the edge and crashes down, and everybody like bowling pins gets sucked in. And so that's something that he'll have to make sure that he has gap integrity and discipline, or he sets the edge and stays outside. Can't want to get up the field all the time. Got to make sure you honor your responsibilities first, and sometimes he'll just flat out run himself out of plays, and more importantly, out of position. We'll waste time karate fighting. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Yeah, he'll waste time karate fighting with his hands. I talked about his hands and how he uses them beautifully, but he'll also at the same time sit there and fight with the lineman trying to get the hands, and I'm like, dude, just get up the field. Just make something happen. He'll come off the ball and he'll do all of this and he'll sit there and fight with the, don't hand fight all day. Go make something happen. And so he can get caught up in trying to keep the lineman's hand off of him. And that's a problem, because if you're fighting with the lineman trying to keep his hand off of you for 3 seconds, the play's over, okay? So the lineman will sit there and fight with you. He'll sit there and hand fight with you all day long if you want to. And so that's something he's got to make sure he completely cleans out of his game. He's got to wipe that away. No hand fighting with the tackles. Either you're going to slap the hands away, you're going to rip them, or you're going to spin or do something, but you can't sit there and just hand fight all day long. No karate fighting with the hands. Keep that to yourself. And last but not least, the one thing that I would love to see him do more of, he doesn't do this at all by my recollection, is convert speed to power. He's so explosive, okay? The speed is so ever present. You see it, you know it's there, you know it's a problem. The tackle knows it's a problem. Then how about you take that speed and convert it to power? take him, stick that arm up into that shoulder pad and jack him up. You don't see that on film at all. He does not use an effective bull rush at all whatsoever. That to me is the missing link in his game. Converting speed to power. Taking an offensive lineman who feels like he has it all figured out and jacking him up, putting him on skates, and taking him back into the quarterback against his will. He doesn't do that at all. And again, for a guy with so much speed, you would think that converting speed to power would be a huge part of his arsenal, but it's missing. It's not there, and that's the one thing. If I could talk to Shane Ray and give him a bit of advice, I'd say, dude, convert speed to power. Your speed is electric. You don't see this every day. You take that speed, you transfer it into power, and watch these tackles skate like he's on ice and get back to the quarterback and make it all nice. That's going to do it for Shane Ray and his NFL Draft Prospect 101 breakdown. It happens in the National Football League, whether big or small. We cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. We've got more edge rushers to get to. Come back, we'll talk more edge rushers. There's plenty more where that came from. While you're here, subscribe to the channel. If you want more Louie Tee, be sure to follow me on Twitter at In the Lab Room, or you can like the Facebook page at In the Lab Room. That's In the Lab Room on Facebook and at In the Lab Room on Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so.
Mm-hmm.